Hey guys, see how well this works? My ankle is healing. I don't want to press my luck too much. So I won't be doing any jumping jacks or anything, in case you were hoping I was going to do that. What I want to talk about is throw on a ball and ways that they can be manipulated. Like most of my videos, a lot of this I'm just thinking out loud. So I may even contradict myself or forget something important. Anybody that's watching this video almost certainly knows that throw exists and can be manipulated. So what I did here is I set up these two balls frozen together exactly one ball width off the cushion at the second diamond. That's where the 4 is at the second diamond. Just so, for sake of consistency. I believe on this table, assuming this table is level, if I hit this 5 dead in the face, I don't think that 4 will go. I think that 4 will hit the point, but not go in. Yeah, so that's what I thought would happen. The table's semi-level. I'll just keep setting these up. Again, consistency. Everybody knows that's watching this that this 4 can pretty easily be made from the same position. If I just cut the 5 that way, contact induced throw is going to push the 4 towards the pocket enough to go in. I'm just going to aim about, looks like about 2/3 of a ball hit on the 5, cutting the 5 to my right. See, I almost threw it too much. How dirty your balls are is going to affect that. If the balls were really, really filthy, that ball might not have gone in with that type of a cut, with that much of a cut. If the balls are really clean, which these are pretty clean, the ball might have went right in the center of the pocket. So it can be done like that, just like cut the 4 in this case. I can come over here, hit the 4 dead on, hit the 4 dead on, which ends up throwing it too much in that case. Actually threw way too much. I'm just trying to go over some of these things fairly quickly here. And a refresher or whatever. So from here, if I hit this 13 dead in the face, it looks like about a half ball hit on the 5. In other words, the direction the 13 is going in, it looks like it's about a half ball hit. That's where you get your maximum throw. It's somewhere around there. It might be exactly a half ball hit. I don't know, but it's somewhere around there. In other words, what I'm saying, I just shot this shot and hit the point of the side pocket. That time I didn't, but I still missed a shot. I threw it too much. It hit up here and bounced out. If I set up the same deal, this time it's not a half ball hit anymore. A half ball hit was over here. Now it's about a 3/4 ball hit. Again, I'm hitting this first object ball dead in the face. I'm not going to have as much contact induced throw in that case. It's not a half ball hit. Remember, a half ball hit is either the max or really close to the max. If I come over here, so it's less than a half ball hit. Now this 10 is hitting this 6. It looks like about a 1/4 of the ball. Getting 10 dead in the face, no spin. It's not going to throw very much. I don't think anything that I just did here surprised anybody. So you could certainly manipulate throw. if a dead combo is close, but maybe you're not quite sure, or maybe it's close, but you think you can throw it in, you can certainly do it by which side of the object ball you hit. If for some reason I want to make damn sure that this tin ball didn't go in that pocket, don't know why, just pretend, I guess. I want to make damn sure that tin doesn't want to go in. I can hit the 3 on my right, cutting it this way. It already didn't go in, but if I don't know that, I'm like, well, I want to make damn sure, I just cut the 3 to my left a little bit, and it throws out even more. Same deal. So you can manipulate throw shots by where you hit this first ball and how this first ball rubs against the second ball. You can do the same thing with spin. And really kind of the main thing I want to talk about here is you can't change it as much. Spin does not have as big of an effect. Because we're talking about 2 balls here, I guess. With the throw issue, the 14 is interacting with the 6. That's one interaction. If I want to put spin on this ball to try to affect this throw, affect this combo, the cue ball is going to spin, hit the 14. The 14 is going to get a little bit of spin, and then it's going to transfer a little bit of that to the 6. So I always had to do gears when I was starting out in my head, trying to figure this out. And a lot of times I still do it just out of habit. We've established this combination on this table is not dead. If I hit the 14 dead in the face, it's going to hit the point but not go in. So I'm going to throw the 6 this way a little bit, but I don't want to use a cut. Say I can't cut the 14. There's a ball in my way. The best I can do is hit the 14 dead in the face. I can try using spin, see if that'll do it. That means that I need the 14 spinning clockwise. So that spin action will rub the 6 that way just a little bit. And it's really all you get is just a little bit. How do I get the 14 to spin clockwise? By spinning the cue ball counterclockwise. So just like gears. So to get the cue ball to spin counterclockwise, I hit right English on it. And I hit right English and dead in the face. And assuming that I did everything perfect, and I probably didn't, but it was pretty close. Obviously the ball went in, but it didn't even go into the center of the pocket. It certainly didn't hit the rail and slide in. Without any English, it was going to hit about here, and it went about here. A half inch maybe, that's all you can get. If your balls are dirtier, you can get more. I guess quality of stroke could have something to do with it as well. There could be some strokes that will transfer more spin, different speeds. The amount of spin I put on the cue ball was dependent on, well, my stroke, my tip, and the kind of chalk that I'm using. I'm using the Town Pyro. I get more spin like with the triangle chalk. With the triangle chalk, I might be able to make that object ball center pocket because I would have got more spin on the cue ball to start out with. That would have transferred a little bit more spin to the frozen combination. But it's still never going to be as much as just cutting the tin would have been. You can stack them up a little bit. You can have both the cut and the spin to make it even more likely. Try to set an example with that. Let me take these 2 balls here that are balls width off the rail. and let's just move them out. I don't have this dead measured or whatever. And now I come here like this, and I want to get it to the point where I don't think I can throw it in by cutting the 10 ball. Maybe about like that. Let's see if the 14 will go in just with a cut. And it will easily. Let's try being scientific. What the heck? My video, I can be scientific. I can be more scientific than some of the people that are even scientists, real scientists making YouTube videos and just flat out lying to people. Is this the same place it just was? Probably. Anyway, I don't want to keep shooting the same thing over and over, but the gist is I can throw this 13, I can get it to rub against the 6 and probably make the 6. That's on this table, but what if I don't know for sure? I don't know if I can throw the 6 enough to get it to go in, even with a half ball hit, which would be my maximum. Now, I look at it and I'm not sure. I can increase my odds just a little bit by doing that gear stuff I was just telling you about. Make the 13 spin clockwise. So in addition to the contact induced throw, it also is going to have a little bit of spin induced throw on that 6, pushing the 6 just a little bit further that way. How do I get the 13 to spin clockwise? By getting the cue ball to spin counterclockwise. So the 6 is going to go in here, but it will probably hit the long rail. No, maybe not. No, just barely. Without that right spin, it might not hit the long rail. Let's try. Let's try. What the heck? This is why we have a table at home, Dave. This time I'm going to do half ball hit, but center ball. Yeah, it looked to me like just about exactly the same place. You can make a difference with a little bit of spin, but it is a little difference. It may not even be relevant in 90% of the cases. It doesn't stop me from doing it though. When I get in situations kind of like the one I was just talking about where I don't know if I can throw the ball enough. This 13-14 is lined up for, and it looks like about 5 inches to the right of that corner pocket. I do not think that this 13-14 will go in. To maximize the chances of going in, I need to cut the 13 so it is a half ball hit on the 14. That will give me my maximum contact induced throw, cut induced throw on the 14. Pushing it this way just a little bit, probably not enough, because it's like I said, 5 inches away from the pocket. Probably won't go in. But if I don't know that, or the balls are dirty, I'm just not used to it, maybe it'll throw enough. I want to try it anyway. I want to increase my odds just a little bit. If I get that 13 spinning counterclockwise, that little bit of spin is going to help push the 14 towards the pocket just a little bit. How do I get 13 to spin counterclockwise? I'm making the cue ball spin clockwise. So, to give myself the absolute best, there's no freaking way this 14 is going to go in on this table, okay? But it's the principle of the thing. It's going to come closer than it would come otherwise. It's going to give it its best chance of going in. It's still not going to go in, though. Left English on the cue ball makes the cue ball spin clockwise. Cut the 13 so it's a half ball hit on the 14, giving me my most amount of contact induced throw. a pretty thin cut on a 13 with left English. Remember when I said it wouldn't go in? Well, I was right. Does it count if I'm right? It does in that case. I set one up that's closer. Instead of setting up the exact same situation, let's set one up that's closer. Okay, now this combination is only about 2 inches to the right of the pocket. This will go in with English or without English. As long as I cut the 14 that way. This is straight on. I want to cut the 14 that way. As long as I do that, I don't think I can overthrow it. The ball will just go in. I don't know. So I've talked about that, and I think none of this came as a surprise to most people. I think I remember it coming as a little bit of a surprise to me how little of an effect English can have on those frozen combinations. Because you are talking about transferring English to the ball, to the first object ball, which is, you're not going to get a 100% transfer. You're going to get some. And then what little English did make it to the first object ball has to then do its inefficient transfer to the other object ball to throw it. Not a huge difference, but sometimes it can make a difference. I'm going to go back to my first example and just talk very briefly about an old saying: speed kills English. Speed kills a lot of things. One of the things that speed can kill is throw. We had established, beginning of this video, that if I have a half ball hit on the 7, at the slow speed I've been doing, I'm going to hit the long rail and may not even make the ball. If the game situation allows it, now I can do the same thing, same angle and everything, same half ball hit and hit it hard. Well, it came a lot closer to going in, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It came a lot closer to going in. Kitty, you're not allowed on the table. You remember? Remember that rule? No. Rules, schmools. A lot of things I talked about can be negated somewhat by speed. I don't want to slam into my cat. Spin can be the same way. They get more spin on a harder hit. Remember I tried to throw this ball in with just right spin on the cue ball? If I hit it harder, same deal, dead in the face. So it went into the left side of the pocket, exactly the same way. That actually kind of surprised me. I thought that shot may miss. Then again, I also thought that maybe with a harder speed, I was going to get more spin on the cue ball, therefore more transferred, and therefore more transferred again. Don't know. But it looked to me like it was exactly the same way. Exactly the same situation. Yeah, at my 2 speeds, exactly the same situation. Yeah, we're going to have to remove the kitty. This is Waterloo, in case you all don't remember. She's my biggest brat. And I have a remote somewhere. There we go. So, I don't know, I thought I wanted to do a video mainly for myself, I think, about throw and stuff like that. And maybe some of you guys will find it useful. It's some pretty basic stuff. The main thing for me that was new when I first learned this stuff is that cut-induced throw or contact-induced throw is by far the biggest contributor on changing a frozen combination from the direction it's frozen at. Spin can make an effect, but it's a pretty small effect. You can use it to add on a little bit to your cut-induced throw. You can use it to subtract a little bit from your cut-induced throw, but you can't like negate that. You can't cut it one way and spin it together and it negates it. You can't do anything like that. The spin-induced stuff is it's just not very powerful on a frozen ball combination like that. And I remember being a little bit disappointed when I first learned that. But life is disappointing sometimes.